I think the shit jobs are the best jobs because they teach you the most.
Definitely. Character building as well.
Yeah, like
in a way.
No, but genuinely, like character building, but also like I think when you do the shitty jobs, you then really appreciate like when you're good at something, you work for a good company.
Yeah,
it makes you, I don't know, a bit more ambitious, a bit more like okay with like putting in the graft because you know what it could be like.
It also makes you treasure like what being good at something feels like, because like being bad at something, obviously I'm going to state the obvious here, but it sucks. It fucking sucks. And to have those two things to compare it against, so when you are nailing it, when you're in your stride, when you're in that kind of flow state and you're nailing things, it's like, this is where I want to be. Like that's the focus, that's the lens, and it's like you want to avoid the pain of like doing a crappy job again.
Yeah, love that. Well, it leads me nicely onto our first question. So the first question that I got back on my Instagram story that I posted when I asked what you guys wanted us to talk about, and if any of you have any questions, please send them in. We would love to answer them in the next podcast. Okay, question number 1 is, I have not figured out my career and I'm 29. Time is ticking for me. What the fuck do I do?
I mean, look, I'm 32 and I haven't figured that one out 100%. Like, I think don't think about it. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, if you enjoy what you do, just focus on that, and then you're naturally going to gravitate to something that you like doing, and you'll carve out a career path there. I changed my career twice, and I'm 32. Like, I keep flipping in and out. Obviously, when I think about it too much, and I start panicking because I'm like, oh, I don't know what my like 10-year or 15-year path is, or like, you know, what the route to retirement is. And honestly, like, the more you think about that, the more you're going to stress yourself out. I think it's like Ricky Gervais. He was like 40 before he actually became a writer and a comedian, right? So there's loads of stuff like that. Like the really cheesy one is Colonel Sanders was like 60 when he founded KFC. 62, yeah. Which is, that one's kind of cheesy, but like it's kind of true.
Vera Wang, 40 years old.
Sure.
Designed a dress.
Yeah, it's super, it's true. And before that, they were nobodies, or not nobodies. They were just like average people doing their jobs until they found their thing. So 29, yeah, man, I wouldn't stress.
I think the thing is, for me, is to your point around not having it all figured out, I have worked in a salon, I've been a door girl, I worked in sales, I worked in recruitment, I ran my own fashion brand, I've worked in marketing, I've worked in B2B marketing, I've worked in employee engagement, I've worked in people and culture, now I run an agency doing something completely different to all of those things. And I think as you go through life, people will try and shove you into a linear path. Like, it's like the classic question when you're at an interview: where do you see yourself in 5 yees? I don't fucking know, Steve. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, who the fuck knows? I don't even know what I'm having for dinner. Like, exactly. Do you know what I mean? And I think in this day and age, it's a really dumb question. It's also a really dumb mindset to have, because you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to do a job for 10 years and decide you fucking hate it. You're allowed to, go to university and decide it's not for you. You're allowed to try jobs. You're allowed to job hop. Like, genuinely, obviously, please none of you leave me. But like genuinely, I think I am such a pro squiggly career kind of gal. And I think the more employers realize the value that people can bring to their organization who've had multiple different exposures to multiple different industries. It's like when you look at marketing, right? You never learn how to market something differently by looking at your competitors. You look how to market your company differently by looking at people who are not in your industry. And I think it's the same thing with employees. If you want, like, to your point, you came from the probation service and you're the best fucking community manager we've ever had.
Thank you.
But a lot of the skills that you picked up in that, like attention to detail, knowing how to navigate difficult situations, know how to answer people in the correct way and the tonality that's required to do so, and all makes you a really good community growth manager. But you haven't got experience in it. So
I definitely changed my career like over the years as well. And like coming out of university, it was always like people asking, what are you doing now? You finished university? And like telling them what you do. But now I'm like not ashamed that I've changed career, because you like build up skills and stuff. So
like, it's fine to have that, right? Like, if you are genuinely that focused and you have a 15-year plan and you're sticking to it and that's what you're happy with and you're nailing it, fantastic, like, go for it. But the majority of people don't. And like, I think that with that comment, I don't know what their name is, but like, that comment is kind of reflective of, I would say, 75 to 80% of people who are in that age bracket. So like, honestly, it's not a thing to stress about.
Also, like, I founded Klowt when I was 30, and that was only because I'd had like 7 careers before that. Like, legit 7 careers before that. So I think it's fine. Next question. Some of these are hilarious, by the way. Like, so we asked on my Instagram stories people to send in questions, and some of them are funny. Like, how tall are you? You don't answer me? ? Sad face. Are you married?
I could answer those, but they're not aimed at me, so I don't know how relevant that content's going to be.
What else? Should I cold approach a girl? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Should I cold? All right, ladies. 1 second.
Sauces.
Yeah, go for it.
Should I? If you're anyone, man, woman, whatever. Should you cold approach people if you like them?
What's that mean?
Like walk up to them and just be like, "Hi, I like you. Give me your number. I want to."
I think if it feels right, then do it.
How would you like to be approached, Hannah? As your boss, asking as your boss.
I don't know. I do like it when people just like randomly come up to me and like compliment me, and then
You're like a magnet.
usually
I've seen you on a night out. Honestly, Hannah walks into a room and everyone's like, "Who's that?"
I know. We walk anywhere and people are like,
"Yeah."
I mean, I happened at Pride, didn't it? That's funny.
Literally, you're like at a Christmas party.
No Pride.
No, but I'm saying at the Christmas
No.
party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That did happen.
As
Yeah.
soon as you walked in, you were like beeline.
I know.
It was so funny. I was like, I love this for her.
That's so funny.
But yeah,
Yeah.
So how would what is the ideal way to approach Hannah?
I'm not sure. It's just like the confidence of someone coming up to you, isn't it? And being like direct. That I like.
Delia, expansion.
okay, I'm going to give my cultural perspective because I think that British men never cold approach
Ooh,
girls
yeah, calling it you
ever,
out.
and it really bothers me. Like,
American men are so confident.
they are.
Really?
I was in Las Vegas airport, I shit you not, for 23 minutes and I was approached by like 4 different people. I was like, I've just got off a long haul flight, guys.
Stay away.
I know my glasses, my breath stinks. Like, chill out. Okay,
But
relax.
they're down. They want to get in there.
They
They're
wanna
like-
get in there,
They,
yeah.
They
They
want to
don't
make
fuck
it
around.
known.
Yeah.
But British guys, they just like, you know, like just
Yeah.
look at you.
Side eye.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is
It's
that?
quite lazy.
Come to you in a
Isn't
second,
it?
Ivan. With
Yeah.
your British
Oh,
guy
yeah.
take.
I mean, not
Yeah.
everyone,
Yeah.
but it's quite lazy.
But I think a compliment is the best way to get in because it's like
Yeah.
then you can kind of the way I respond will let you know if I'm like feeling the convo or not, you know.
Ivan, as a man, should you go to
Do you want the things you should or shouldn't do, or the things that like
whatever you'd like to
The
answer?
Your take.
my
isn't it?
special tactic?
What's your
Oh,
pickup
I'm
line?
special
terrible. Stare awkwardly and hope for something to happen.
And just hope they come over.
Exactly. Or wait for like some
stare at them like this.
wait for some divine intervention, for like it to randomly start
opportunity.
raining and you have an umbrella and they don't,
Yeah.
something like that. But that's never
Classic
happened. That's never happened. Look, I mean, the cold approaching and like the confidence and the bolstery and like the that kind of thing. If I can just bring this back to like personal branding and like that whole thing, like that's just like human psychology 101. Like that works for dating, it works for marketing, it works for personal branding. Like if you're bold, you have an opinion, you stand by yourself, you back yourself. Like you're obviously going to get more eyeballs.
Attractive.
I wish I did that a lot more in my younger years when I actually was dating. Might have had more success. I didn't, and I didn't have any success. So, well, I had some, but the point is like, yeah, like it's easy to say that, but it's not easy to actually implement and effectively do it. It takes a lot of practice, but you kind of have to do it, get some badges and scars, and then figure out like how this works. Like this conversation doesn't happen when you're younger. No girls are like, oh, why don't guys come up to me and do it like this? Like if there's no rules, so you kind of have to find your own path. But yeah, relates the same thing to marketing, personal branding, sales. It's all like human psychology stuff. So.
I think there's two things here. One, how you approach someone, I think, is really important. So I have this strategy that I use.
Ooh.
But I'll be like you've obviously got to like. Sorry, I was just looking at my phone. It looked like there was someone on my phone for 20 minutes, but it's a screenshot. I must have been on the phone to a friend.
Oh yeah.
For 20 minutes, I was like, this has been going for a very long time.
Who's an
who's listening
exclusive
to this
podcast?
Well, it's good. It means that they're interested.
Yeah, they've been literally. And I love that it hasn't moved. Anyway, so I have this thing where, and I've made so many of my friends do this as well, and it fucking works every single time. If you see someone that you like, you as a woman, you need to make the first move. Like so many women don't do this ever. Because they're like, oh no, the guy should chase me. Yeah, fuck that. Like if you want to make shit happen, you can't just wait awkwardly in the rain with an umbrella.
Agree.
Yeah.
You need to create a pathway for them to know that you like them, so that then they can chase you and so they can come whatever. So what I used to do when I was like, if I liked someone, say I was in the gym and I was using my equipment and I had like Beeline and like whoever it was I thought was cute. I'd go over to them with my like weights and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I've left my water downstairs. Like, would you mind just watching this stuff for me? And I'd be like, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm like, great, amazing. And then I'd go downstairs, like, wait, like 5 minutes. And then I'd come back on stage. And then I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, you're such a lifesaver. I'm so thirsty.
The touch as well.
Yeah.
The little,
Yeah. Thank you so much. And then smile at them and then just start keep doing your weights again. And it's literally that interaction creates a pathway for someone to then ask you something back. And it almost gives people permission to talk to you. I think men today particularly, I know I'm sure women feel like this as well, but I think men today particularly are scared to approach women because they are worried about what the response to their approach is going to be, because a lot of women don't respond to being approached in a good way to men they're not attracted to. Like, if you're attracted to someone, your response will be positive. If you're not attracted to someone, it'll be like, ew, why are you asking me? And like, no woman will understand what, and this is my second point, no women will ever understand what it's like to be rejected, because women don't ever get rejected. Men get rejected. So I think if you can be nice about it, even if if you're someone cold approaching someone and then the person who you're approaching is then unkind to you, that tells you everything you need to know. But if you're that person that's being cold approached, just remember that it's taken fucking balls for that person to like pluck up the courage to walk across the room and be like, hi, I'm Ivan.
There's going to be all the mates. He's like, I'm going to do it. And he's like, you do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Ew, why are you talking to me? Shit!
Yeah. Who are you ugly man? Oh, God.
Oh, no!
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying
But yeah, I think everyone can be kind, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but thank you.
Yeah, I'm always kind to them.
Always. Yeah, I think it's really, really important. I think it says a lot about your character too. Okay, that was an interesting one. Next one. Is there an ideal stage oh no, that's not the right question to be asking, maybe another time. Advice for someone who's been in survival their whole life and starting again at 30. I just went back to uni. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, well, I can kind of like that sounds quite dramatic. So obviously, I hope everything's okay. I hope they get that they've sorted that, and like they're doing well now. So fingers crossed. I completely like changed my career at COVID. I quit my job. I didn't really have another job lined up. I was just like, I'm going to go and learn a new skill and I'm going to implement it. And COVID was a great time to do that. So I was working in sales. I was doing okay. I wasn't sales like making loads and loads of money, but I was doing all right. And yeah, just didn't want to do it. When everyone started working from home, I was like, I hate doing this from home. The whole reason why I wanted to do this is to be with people, to travel around the world. I was going to like, some cool places, and I was like, awesome. And it kind of distracted me from the sense of like, oh, this was the job itself wasn't really what I wanted to do. So during COVID, I quit. I think I was not working for like 8, maybe 10 weeks while I was learning how to create content. So copyright, I was doing like blogging, like just learning how content strategies work, content marketing, all that kind of stuff. And then, fortunately just started freelancing, but I basically had to rebuild like my salary from scratch as a freelancer, which took like probably about 6 months to get even close to it. And then I started working full-time in the job. But when I joined my first full-time content job, my salary was like less than half what it was when I was working in sales. So it's terrifying, but it felt good. Like I felt like this was where I was going to go. This was like my longish term path. And I like every day I enjoyed creating, I enjoyed writing, I enjoyed researching. So I was like, okay, I've got the stamina for this. So I guess in a way it's like, it will happen, it will come. You just gotta like have faith, find that thing that excites you and just keep plugging away at it, and just look for opportunities, because ultimately but lots of people who restart their careers at 30 don't realize they've accumulated a huge amount of experience in their other positions and other roles. So when they restart, they're already starting off in a really great place. And that's something that's important that people should probably think about.